You're listening to the OMG app.
All right, we're going to try this again, I hope, and see if this works. This is now episode 297.5, and hopefully my internet is stable enough to continue. We're going to start right where we left off from part 1, and Jeff was just reminded, since we were talking about board games, that he also played a board game.
It's called... Legends of Andor. It is a 4-player, essentially D&D type game.
Ooh, I like it already.
Except there's no like dungeon master or anything like that. All the enemy units have logic that there's turns that happen and everything sort of just moves on its own. I think there is something like 7 adventures in this box that tell a massive story arc.
That's cool.
It is super cool. There are character classes. It's 2 to 4 players. You can pick wizards. You can pick warriors, dwarves. Everybody has special powers. It is a really, really cool like D&D light type experience. And I've got to say, I'm really impressed. I don't want to spend forever gushing about it, but I definitely know there's people that listen to the show that talk about board games. So I'm just gonna pimp this game here, Legends of Andor. I got it for, what did I say, $70? Is that what I said? Yeah. Also, very expensive game. Also, very heavy box. Very high quality stuff. Awesome game.
Awesome.
It's super fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. We don't cover tabletop games nearly as much as I'd like to.
We shall do more.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how things go.
We'll see if we have time, because we're heading into E3,
Oh my gosh, it is E3 coming up soon. All right, Tico, you and I have more non-gaming stuff, gaming-related, but not actually games. So when we were at PAX East, we stopped by the ThinkGeek booth, and I saw this beautiful ThinkGeek modern icon statue of Aloy, of course, from Horizon Zero Dawn, my favoriteest game.
That looks expensive.
And these are $40 US.
Oh, that's not bad.
And these models are unbelievably detailed, so gorgeous.
Yeah,
like the detail on these things, I can't really get it close enough to the camera.
There's not really a good angle there on that.
But the detail on these things are incredible. For example, on on Aloy, we don't need to see your stapler there, Jeff. Thanks.
Wait. That is a nice stapler, though.
Is it a swing line? Red swing line?
I do own. Don't talk about. I'm showing off. Everybody's showing things to the camera, so I am too. I don't have a lot of stuff in my desk.
So the detail though is incredible. For example, the braids in Aloy's hair are there. Little ties holding her braids together. You know, the feathers on her bow. The detail is absolutely incredible, and for $40, honestly, it is an absolute steal for this statue.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It's like a plasticky type material, almost like rubber.
Like it's a light foamy type. I know it's like a hard foam.
Well, I wouldn't even. No, I think it's more like a. I don't know. It's a plasticky type thing, but it's super light, like really, really light. And I'm not exactly sure what it's made of exactly, but totally. If you like Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, or you like,
I got the Fallout 4 Nuka Girl,
Nuka Cola Girl, yeah. These are totally worth the $40 if you're into collectibles and statues for games that you love. Like, it's just like the detail, as I said, is incredible on these things. And it really does look like Aloy. So I'm quite thrilled. I was ecstatic when they showed it to us. I think I just sort of like grabbed it out of her hand, and I'm like, oh! And I'm just staring.
He tried to run. She caught him, made it give it back.
Right. So these are ThinkGeek's modern icons, and they're $40 each on the ThinkGeek website in US funds, obviously. In Canada, EB Games, I believe, carries them.
They are. I'm not sure if each store has them, but I believe some of the locations will have them. They are supplied in Canada from at EB Games through ThinkGeek.
So check them out if you are a fan of those games. I don't know what... These are Modern Icons 2 and 3. I'm not sure what number 1 was.
I think, and I'm not 100% sure, I think number 1 was actually the Power Armor statue from last year.
Oh, it might have been, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Tico, last week
Yes.
I spoke briefly about State of Decay 2. Did you get a chance to play it as well?
I did. So it finally popped up on Tuesday for those of us who are, getting it through the Game Pass program. And so I gave it a shot. I know you had a lot of... I didn't really have any glitching on mine. The one thing that I found on it, though, it really doesn't want to hold your hand at all through the game. So it doesn't, like, you get to your first zone and your first house, and it's like, just look at the different things in your house. That's what it tells you to do. Like your mission is
look at them.
Interact with the different things in your house. It doesn't give you a walkthrough of how they're used, what they're used for, or anything like that. I would have really liked to have seen that from the game. Like, I mean, I'll figure it out eventually, but it just throws you into it. It doesn't say, like, hey, you're going to want to create beds for to make sure that people have somewhere to sleep because your character needs to sleep, otherwise they get exhausted and they get eaten by zombies.
Okay.
It doesn't really explain what these things are used for per se. More just like, hey, go out and explore and find things.
How did you find it compared to the first game?
It feels the same, but with a prettier bow on it.
It's literally the same game. I don't feel like they've done anything more.
Yeah.
They added stuff. I'm trying to remember what it is now. I actually listened to a podcast where they talked about this game. It's funny because you didn't like it, Sean, right? That's what I gathered.
No, I
was listening to the Giant Bombcast, and they really did like it. And they're like, oh. So I'm hearing, and then I've read other people that also didn't like it. So there's a lot of like mixed feelings about this game.
Yeah.
But they did add something new, and I can't remember what it is. But they also said it was just basically like State of Decay 1.2.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's just it. It isn't State of Decay 2 by any stretch of the imagination. Like it isn't a new iteration of this franchise. They've taken the original game, made it prettier, and maybe added a couple things.
Yeah.
But it's more of a refinement of the first one.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. I just wish there was more. I don't know, like, not necessarily, I don't need my hand held through it, but like there's a lot of stuff going on with resource management and player management and all of that stuff, and I wish they sort of gave you a little bit more of an idea, like, why do I have to create beds? It just says create some beds. Oh. But like, what does that do for me? Am I using up resources that I don't need to? Or like, do I already have enough beds? It doesn't sort of give you that sense of why you're doing anything. It's just like, just tells you to do stuff. Go find these things for a cure. Like, it doesn't really tell you where to find them, how to find them. Doesn't explain, you want to go at night. Like, I found my first plague heart the other day, and it didn't tell you what to do with the plague heart. It just, like, there's a plague heart there. So I went and I just started hitting it, and it occasionally just explodes and killed my guy.
Okay.
It doesn't explain, like, permadeath. And it doesn't explain what you're doing. Like, why are you trying to destroy these plague hearts? I mean, I assume it's to stop the zombies and whatever, but it doesn't really explain, like, hey, you have to do it from a distance, you have to back off, otherwise it's going to explode everywhere. So it doesn't really give you a lot of stuff. It really makes you figure that out on your own. And, one of my starting characters is now dead because of the inability to tell me that information.
Right. Yeah, so are you going to continue playing it? Like, are you a fan of the game?
Playing it.
Yeah,
I like it. I like zombie stuff. I enjoy the zombie stuff. I do like the idea of the sort of resource management, the sort of like, trying to the survival horror sort of thing. Like, I do enjoy that. It's I mean, it's not one that I'm gonna jump back into and play for like hours on end. I'll probably play for an hour or two.
Grab some achievements.
I might get some achievements. I may want some of those, and then I'll probably move on to something else for a bit, and then go back to it. Like, it doesn't hold, like, there's no story in it that really holds my attention for any real length of time.
No, I don't think there really is a story. It's just a survival game.
Yeah, it's not really that type of game.
Yeah, like nothing makes
management,
me goes like, I have to stay. Yeah, I'm not getting any sense of achievement with anything that I'm doing in it. It's like my house isn't getting bigger. It didn't get, like, armor around it or anything.
This is a very popular type of game. lately. I find this new like survival.
Yeah.
The point is just to survive.
Yeah.
Type experience. So.
All right. Well, I think based on that, we should move on to the news this week and talk about some interesting stuff. So let's do that.
OMG.
So this week, PS4 was like front and center, or PlayStation, Sony was front and center in the news, I found. Because there was an investor call this week, and we find out that they consider the PS4 as entering the end of its life cycle. And when I first saw that, I'm like, wait, what? Because we were just talking, like, what, a month or two ago, how we feel like it doesn't even feel like it's gotten started yet. And now they're talking about, within the next 3 years, we're probably going to see the PS5. That is the speculation right now. By 2020 or 2021, potentially we'll see the PlayStation 5. The president of PlayStation was saying that it is in its end life cycle. They expect to start seeing a downturn in sales. So this is when they're not going to produce as many, I guess. Because it was an investor call, so they want to let the investors know that you can expect a downturn in sales starting now, because this is it's 5 years old. We're coming on 6 years old, and it used to be
3 more years. Sounds pretty reasonable to me.
I do, but when I first saw, I'm going to tell you what I thought at first what was running through my head was, it feels like this year, like last year started it, this year it's continuing with, we're seeing these amazing games coming out for the system, right? We have the God of War, we have Detroit coming tomorrow, and like these big blockbuster games that are doing well, that are reviewing well, that look amazing, that feel like they're actually pushing the hardware. And then at the same time, to hear that we're in the end stages of its life cycle, I feel like, but we're just getting started. Like, we're finally seeing good stuff.
That's always the way it goes, though. It was the same thing last gen. All the best stuff came at the... Well, not all the best stuff, but a lot of really great stuff came right at the end of the generation.
Yeah. No, it did. No, I agree. And then they had to come out with the definitive editions on the next gen.
Yeah.
What also struck me, though, wasn't both Microsoft and Nintendo, Microsoft and Sony, more so Microsoft, I guess, talking about going the phone route, where just every couple of years, there'd be a new iteration of the console.
Well, that was a lot of speculation, but nobody ever came out and said...
No, Microsoft, I think, came out and said it.
Yeah, they said a lot of things they had to backtrack on, though.
They were talking... I think they brought it up at some point, like, that's one model, but they never actually said that's what they were going to do. They were just saying, that's a model that maybe one day we could pursue. But maybe they still will. I mean...
Maybe they realized, like we did, that that's not a good model for gaming.
Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I mean, it's kind of hard to say.
Depends on what people buy. People buy $1,000 phones every year.
Yeah, but they're subsidized.
They don't pay $1,000 for them, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people do as well, though.
Some crazies do, not me. But yeah, no. It's the thing about the hold on. Let me go back to that news article there. So the thing about this, though, is that, I mean, like you said already, this was an investor call. It's designed purely to let investors know that sales are going to take a downturn. They're not going to be selling as much. They're not going to be creating as much. This is why, because PlayStation is the most profitable division of Sony. The last time I heard, I'm assuming that's still true. So yeah, I don't really find it's things that people say in investor calls are always like, I don't really find them very newsy. Like, yeah, in 3 years it's going to be done, and we'll get to the next.
I feel like, I mean, 3 years. I don't know. I look at 3 years and I think that's not very long. So
well,
it just doesn't feel like it's very long to me to think about replacing the PS4, with a PS5. But at that point, the PS4 will be, 7-8 years old. And that is I mean, I think the last gen was the first gen to go that long. So before that, it was every 5 years. Like, if we go back 10 years ago, we would have been expecting a new one to be released this year.
Yeah.
You know? So we're totally in a different market now, where we feel like this is just getting started. All the good games are just coming out now. Hopefully we keep seeing good games coming out. You know, keep iterating on the hits that are like Detroit and God of War.
Yep.
The other interesting thing that came out of the investor call or out of news of PlayStation.
Wait, before you say that, I know what you're going to say, but before you say that, I want to say that the next generation, I would imagine both Sony and Microsoft have backwards compatibility out of the gate, so that yes, even though we're getting all like the great games now, I think the next gen, the transition from current to next gen is going to be really different. I think it's going to be really, really different.
Like when you pick up the new one, you can still continue to play the current games?
Yeah. So if I go buy a PlayStation 5 and I go get, I don't know, some amazing game that's on PS4, it'll run flawlessly on PlayStation 5, just like it runs PlayStation Pro.
Similar to,
yeah.
So it's similar to what they did with the Xbox One X enhanced games. You can buy that game, and when you get your enhanced version of it, it'll automatically download, and you'll play the same thing just with the enhanced graphics and stuff like that.
I don't think that now that Sony and Microsoft are both on the x86 architecture, if they're smart, they'll stay there. And I think that transition is going to be much, much easier and the best it's ever been from any transitional generation gap thing here.
That would be a really interesting thing to do.
To throw a monkey wrench into that, Sean's going to say something that's going to just mess with my whole theory.
Oh, right. Well, one of the other news articles from Gamasutra is that the future of PlayStation may be portable, according to a Sony exec.
Yeah, I don't believe that. But okay, what does the article say? Well,
it just they're talking about that. With the game. Okay, I'm going to read a paragraph here. What the portable game console might look like is still shrouded. What that portable game console might look like is still shrouded in secrecy, but it appears that Sony's upper management has shifted its stance from Andrew House's analysis of the portable games market last September. At the time, House said Sony would not be chasing the success of Nintendo Switch because he didn't see an opportunity for portable video game platforms. But apparently they've changed their stance on it. Now they do.
Well, what was the exact comment, the guy? I mean, it was a one frickin' line comment, wasn't it?
At a roundtable interview attended by Bloomberg on Wednesday, Kodera, who's the PlayStation chief, John Kodera, said that his opinion, rather than separating portable gaming from consoles, it's necessary to continue thinking of portable gaming as one method to deliver more gaming experiences and explore what our customers want from portable. We want to think about many options. So this could be... Okay. Does this mean they're going to have maybe a phone version of a game you're playing on your console to take an experience with you? Or what does that mean? We don't know. What it means is that Sony is looking at somehow combining portable with your home experience, whether that means a thing like the Switch, whether that means two different things that are related, we don't know. It's all speculation right now.
Yeah. For the record, I would not put money on a Switch-esque PlayStation 5.
No, I wouldn't either.
I would not take that bet.
No, because we see the Switch itself only lasts like 3 hours with its battery, approximately. How do you take a quality like games like what's on PS4 or even or Xbox One X? How do you make that? You can't make that portable without getting like 15 minutes gaming time. You know, the power needed behind those games is not portable.
No.
So I don't see Sony running with a Switch type project, but what I see them saying is they want to somehow incorporate portability into the games, or making some portable experience to go along with the game you're playing. What that looks like, I don't know.
I feel like we've been here before and it sucked.
Yeah.
There's a couple of years ago, everybody was like portable tablet experiences and blah blah blah.
Right?
And it was not great. I don't need Sony to try to do more mobile stuff. I admit Vita was a great console that was undersupported, like many Sony initiatives. Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
And the Vita has now officially, they've stopped creating games for
Production.
Vita. Officially, they've stopped production of Vita games. So it is a dead platform as far as I'm concerned. It's been a dead platform as far as I'm concerned for years, and yet I keep hearing of new Vita games coming out. I'm like, what?
I got like 3 of them back there.
3 Vitas? Or 3 Vita games?
I think I have 2 Vitas and a PlayStation Portable.
And when's the last time you touched them?
I don't know. That's why I can't remember exactly what I got back there.
Exactly. So it'll be interesting to see what's going on. Of course, if PlayStation is thinking of their PS5 now, and they're not openly talking about it, but of course now all the rumors are out, all the speculation. When before we hear speculation about what the next Xbox is going to be? It's going to be this year. It's got to be this year. We'll see. While we're on the topic of PS4, I remember a while back, I kept saying, I'm surprised Sony doesn't have an Elite controller like Xbox does. Well, now they do. They've officially licensed it to Scuf Gaming, SCUF. Scuf Gaming has created the Scuf Vantage, which is an officially licensed performance controller for the PS4, much like the Elite controller. It has 4 buttons on the back that are programmable. It also has 2 buttons on the side, like on the side of where the trigger is. So it's actually got 6 additional buttons on it that are all programmable to make a pro controller.
And the thumbsticks are offset now too.
Oh,
like an Xbox controller.
Oh my gosh, I saw that, Tico, but I never actually took note. You're right. You're right. They're offset like an Xbox controller. Now here's the thing. At first I'm like, okay, that's cool. But then I looked at the price. It's $200 freaking US.
Yeah. I think we should mention, this is not a Sony controller. This is not a controller Sony built. This is not a controller Sony asked for. This is a company that makes accessories and then paid for the license to have it work on the PlayStation 4 officially.
Yes.
So
there's 2 versions. There's the wireless and there's the non-wireless. The wireless one is $200. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Right?
That's going to be $260 Canadian.
Yeah.
No. Like I thought
if it was first party it would be cheaper if it was, but it's not. It's third party. It's doing the whole Razer type pricing scheme where it's just
their licensing fees too.
It's just insanely expensive.
I thought $180 Canadian for the Elite was bad enough.
It is.
Yeah.
It's super bad.
So
I don't understand why people buy it. But anyway, I get that it's good. But yeah, I mean, there's been a whole slew of licensed controllers and they're all fancy. There's been a few that were like pro controllers. Really what we need is, this is the thing that Sony's really not good at. They're really not good at cool controllers. When you look at Microsoft, like pro controller or elite controller, whatever the heck that thing's called, that thing aside, Microsoft is way better at making cool controllers than Sony has ever been.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
They just keep licensing these things out, and they're all crazy expensive. Sony just needs to go in and make their own. Or maybe they just don't want to, and they're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you do.
We'll let Scuf Gaming do it, whoever the heck they are.
I've never trusted, and this is just my own preference, I don't like third-party controllers.
No, they always feel funny.
Yeah,
I had on the OG Xbox, I had a wireless controller by Logitech, and it was expensive. It was wireless, and the only real thing I remember about it is that the thumbsticks didn't feel right.
Yeah.
It was just like, a little bit off. We don't even need to talk about Mad Catz controllers. They're always garbage. But
that warranty though.
That warranty. They have warranty? I don't know.
I think it wasn't it like a ridiculous, I think it was either a lifetime warranty or something like that on Mad Catz stuff, because I remember exchanging a billion of them when I worked at EB.
Oh, yeah, eh?
Well, that was just because it was REB. We exchanged anything.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's easier than dealing with angry people.
So the one thing I'll say about the Scuf Vantage $6 million controller, I like how the rings around the thumbsticks light up. That makes me happy for reasons I can't understand.
Not for $280 or whatever it's going to be. All right, finally.
Mod, Mike.
Finally.
Yeah, go.
Go. We found out why EA has not released another PGA Tour. They've actually lost the PGA Tour license. They've pulled from the store the is it Rory McIlroy? Something.
Roy McIlroy. Rory.
No.
Rory, I don't. It's Rory. Yeah, you're right. It's Rory.
Who cares? It's pulled.
They've pulled the game, the latest PGA Tour game, from the store. Like, you can't even download it anymore because they've actually lost the PGA license, and the PGA Tour license is going to the Halifax-based development studio that created the Golf Club. Do you remember that game? It came out a few years ago. The Golf Club.
Yeah. That number 2 is actually due out very soon for that.
That's right, and they have the PGA Tour license. That's huge.
Ooh. That is a big deal. It was a pretty good golf game. I mean, it was very realistic. I was terrible at it, but huge to get the PGA.
I found it just okay.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of the Golf Club when it came out, but maybe they've improved it. Maybe I'll be interested to see what the second one is.
If they secured the PGA Tour license, like I'm assuming in Halifax,
yes,
they're a small developer.
They are.
But now that they have secured a brand like PGA, they can probably get additional funding to build out their team because they know how many units they're going to sell, right? PGA knows how many copies of PGA Rory McIlroy or whatever the heck sold last year because they have to get money from it. So, yeah, that's good for them. Actually, that's a great Canadian success story. That makes me really happy.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the second one brings. So, hopefully we can review that game when it comes out. I have to look up the details. I don't know anything about it, but yeah, that's cool. I'm glad to see the PGA Tour license though is going to live on in a video game because I like my golf games. So. Okay, let's move on for a few minutes to E3 because that is coming up in 3 short weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks. I'm curious, gentlemen, what you guys are looking forward to. What are you hoping to see at E3 this year? Jeff, do you want to start us off?
Oh, Jeff's going to go first.
Okay,
fine.
Tico. Well, you have nothing in the show notes, Tico. I don't know.
I didn't get home until like 2 minutes after we started today.
That's lame excuse. I filled out the notes. I get to go first. Gosh. Freaking Ticos, always thinking they can Tico it up.
Well, at least we're not being Jeff.
Here's my issue, Sean.
At least this half of the show isn't being Jeffed.
Look, don't start with me. We don't have a lot of time, Sean. We're in a rush. A lot of the things that I want to see, I already know aren't going to be there. I really want to know about Elder Scrolls 6.
I think it'll be there.
I don't think it's going to be there.
I think they're telling us that it's going to come in November.
You are crazy. They've already said that before Elder Scrolls launch, they're going to release 3 AAA games.
All in September.
No, not happening. So I don't think Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be there. I really want to see Borderlands 3, but Gearbox already said that's definitely not going to be
Borderlands 3 won't be there, but Borderland Worlds will.
What the heck is Borderland Worlds?
I don't know.
It's Border Worlds. Border Worlds was the long rumored Borderlands sequel coming up.
We have a theory that yes, Randy Pitchford said Borderlands 3 would not be in there, but it was in quotes. Borderlands 3 won't be there.
Oh, sneaky. Okay,
yes.
That's totally something Randy Pitchford would do too. Okay, well, I would really like to hear about that because you guys know I love that game. Anthem, of course, I think everybody's excited to find out what BioWare's next big game is going to be. We had the teaser last year. I want to see much more gameplay, live gameplay. Want to learn more, much more. I'm very curious about the Destiny 2 expansion. I really, really hope they do a really good big expansion this time. Destiny's expansions have always been good, but never mind-blowingly good. So I'm hoping that it gets there. And then from Sony, and I know, I'm pretty sure I said this last year, I really, really want a AAA or even AA game for PlayStation VR.
Yes. What's a AA?
Like,
is it like a battery?
I'm just assuming that it's just almost as good as a AAA.
They try, but they don't have the funds to really get there. That's what a AA is.
Sony has the freaking money to make the game, and somebody has to be responsible for creating a really awesome game. And I don't even care if Sony releases it for Vive and Oculus and all the other platforms.
Right.
But
make it cross-platform.
We really need some non-indie reasons to put on that frickin' helmet.
Well, like, Jeff, didn't you ask for this last year?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I asked for it last year. I came away with 2 VR games that I thought were okay.
Well, Star Trek Bridge Crew now has TNG Bridge on it, so
yeah, that's true.
Got to jump back into that.
We're gonna play that for sure. That was cool, but it's still a small game.
Yes,
it's not like a big immersive. I mean, it is immersive, but it's not something you're gonna play like every night for weeks, right?
Right.
And then the other game that I wanted was that military game that you reviewed, Sean.
Oh gosh, that was terrible.
It was terrible. It was terrible. So, yes. Sony, I don't know, man. I'm starting to feel like the PSVR is amazing at what it is. It is a great VR headset. It checks all the boxes. It's cheap. It's comfortable, and if you have optimal lighting conditions, it works.
Yeah. That's right.
But wow, do we ever need some content for that thing? So that's me. That's pretty much what I want. And I want to be surprised by something somewhere. I usually always am.
Yeah.
I am curious to see what Microsoft's going to float out. There's I couldn't even tell you whether it's going to be a Gears year or a Halo year or both, or are they going to bring me some Fable? Are they going to bring Crackdown? I mean, they're definitely going to bring Crackdown.
Are they, though? Are they?
Better.
With a new and improved release date 6 months from now.
Yeah. Which will get delayed.
I would like to see it come out on the press conference on Game Pass.
Yeah. That is what I'm excited for, of whichever studio does, and you can go get it now. That's what I want to hear from somebody. It's available now on the store. Flip a switch and we can go buy it like right away.
Who do you think is most likely to do something like that, Tico?
Microsoft.
I think Microsoft is.
Yeah.
I think they're most likely to do that. They're the ones that are, I think, the most desperate at this point too.
Yeah.
They really need to show something. They have slipped in sales. They have slipped in consumer confidence. They need to do something to win people back.
Yeah. What other than that are you looking forward to, Tico?
I mean, I want to see some new IPs. I want to see some new stuff. I want to see some new things getting announced. I'm always excited when anything new comes out and sort of like they talk about any of the new stuff. I want to see something. I don't want to see the same stuff that they showed us last year with an extended trailer. I don't care about that. I already know about that, and I still have to wait another year and a half. You don't want to see
Death Stranding again?
No, I do not.
Well,
I don't care what's happening with Daryl and that baby. I don't care.
I don't care either, for the record.
Well, I mean,
weird.
So we know that Sony is gonna feature 4 big titles. One of them is Death Stranding. I'm like, why? Why are you? I don't. If you're gonna do Death Stranding again, it had better be actual gameplay telling us what the frack this game is.
Are you kidding? That's a Hideo Kojima game. That game is not coming out until my kids have kids.
Yeah, but and they also don't know what's going on in that game.
I know, right? Right. So for me, Anthem, I agree. I really want to see some Anthem gameplay. I want to know more about what is Anthem, more than what they showed us last year. I think last year, I thought the demo was great, what they showed us, the teamwork and the people working together, but I want to know more about what the actual game is. Rage 2, I want to see some gameplay for Rage 2.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Did you like Rage 1?
I loved Rage.
Oh, you're that one guy.
If you were here last week, you would know that.
I was here for 30-second increments for the first 10 minutes annoying you.
Yes. Elder Scrolls 6, I want to see that. I'm hoping.
You won't.
Okay, we're putting bets down on the table. Because
Dude, you're not seeing Elder Scrolls this year.
Even Glenn, who's online right now, hello Glenn, he thinks we're going to see it. So
no,
that's 2 against Tico. Do you think we'll see Elder Scrolls?
I do not think we will see Elder Scrolls.
It's a tie, 2 against 2.
I don't. I don't think we will.
You're not going to see it. They already said they have a bunch of games coming out before then. I'm going to go Google it.
And the Division 2. I want to see the Division 2.
Yeah.
Right? Ubisoft has said that there'll be some Division 2. I got an email later in the day today, and I'm going to see if I can find it real quick, that talked about what Ubisoft is going to have at E3. It's right here. So they're going to have the Division 2, Beyond Good and Evil 2, so we're going to see more of that. For Honor. I don't know what's coming for Honor. Maybe new seasons, new add-ons. We're going to see Skull and Bones again, even though it's been delayed. We're going to see more of Starlink, Battle for Atlas, which is that cool Toys to Life.
The miniatures,
Yeah, the spaceship game. And Transference, which is the VR game that was delayed, that takes place in a psychiatric, I think. I don't know. It's got Frodo in it. Anyway, that's all I know. I do know that I was excited for Transference when I saw the trailer for it, so would like to know more about that. And that could be your AAA VR game. Jeff, if you want to go to a mental institute anyway. Jeff looks like he's in a mental institute already.
I was reading whatever you said I disagree with because it was probably wrong.
Wow.
Good
to have the back of my co-hosts.
I have no idea what we're talking about. In 2017, speaking in an interview with PC Games N, Todd Howard said that the Elder Scrolls team has at least 2 major titles that they are working on before we're going to get to Elder Scrolls 6.
Right.
The Elder Scrolls 6 is not in dev while we work on those. That was last year, and Skyrim took 5 years to make.
I think
we're not seeing Elder Scrolls.
Sean, I've changed my vote. I think it's going to be there now.
Excellent.
Gosh darn it. Tico.
Excellent. Good. Finally, I'm really, really curious to see what Xbox is going to bring to the table. They said it's going to be one of their biggest shows ever. I'm really curious what that means. What surprise do they have up their sleeves that we're not expecting? I expect to be surprised by Microsoft, but I don't know with what. Yes, Jeff?
Question. That head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, is that his name?
Yes.
Could be.
How long has he been head of Xbox?
14 and a half years.
No, he hasn't.
I don't.
When did you take over for that slimy guy that looked like a weasel?
I don't remember. I don't know.
3 years?
Anyway, what's your point?
Let's go with 3 years.
My point is that how long it would take Phil Spencer to actually get the game studios in gear and produce a game that was like Phil Spencer from the ground up. I like Phil Spencer a lot. Weaselman can go keep working for whatever terrible company he's working for. I'm just saying that like Microsoft could legitimately start seeing the fruits of Phil Spencer now, because it takes time to get all that stuff up and running, right?
Yeah.
So they very well may have the best Xbox 3s or Xbox E3 ever.
Well, Xbox they've been talking about having some quadruple A title. Like, what is a quadruple A title? What does that even mean?
All right, so you take a AAA title, and then you give them a little bit more money, and then you delay it 3 years.
That's probably it.
Gotcha.
Did they seriously bust out a quadruple A?
They did.
Oh my gosh.
They did. It's in the art. It's in our show notes. I'm pretty sure that quote is in there. Something about a.
Oh no! It.
Yeah, about a triple A.
I'm reading it right now.
Yeah, something about a triple A title. Yeah. They also talk. Perhaps we might see Halo and Gears, as well. So who knows?
Gears of War Wars. They're talking about something like that.
Gears of
like
War
Halo
Wars,
Wars
like Halo Wars, but for Gears. Yeah. Oh my gosh!
Microsoft is of every gaming company on the planet positioned to leverage some of the like best technology that exists for gaming, with all the stuff that they do for cloud computing and cloud rendering and all their internet infrastructure and all their knowledge and all their game studio-ness. They're probably the only company in the world I would ever even trust to make a quadruple A game. They have a lot of talent there and a lot of tech.
Gears versus Halo.
No, but you can't think about it in terms of these little single-player type games. Whatever it is, guaranteed, if they're doing quadruple A,
it's a new experience.
It's gonna be highly internet connected.
Yeah. It'll be some kind, it won't be just a game. It won't just be another game. It's going to be some new thing that we've just never experienced before somehow.
Like, how when you look at I'm going to bring up their old guy like Bungie, who used to be Microsoft, right? So you look at the leap from Halo. What was the last one called? Reach. Look at the jump from Halo Reach to Destiny. And then you think about all the online infrastructures type stuff that they did to make that game, like the jump from that old co-op 4-player campaign to interconnected worlds, all that kind of stuff. They could do some really cool stuff at Microsoft because they have the power to go even further. That's really cool. And more money.
Yeah.
There's very few companies that have more money than Microsoft.
All right, so as the week go by, of course, we're going to learn more about what's going to be at E3, and perhaps we'll continue discussing it. But right after E3, we will have our big E3 extravaganza show. But for now, that has been episode number 297.
97.
0.5.
0.5.
Yeah, sorry for all the troubles at the beginning of the show. I don't know why it happened, but anyway, Cynics, take us out.
You can watch us on Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, around there anyway, live on YouTube at youtube.com/OMGNexus. Don't forget, if you are watching us YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, follow the show on Twitter at the OMG Hour. Our gaming archaeologist is Mr. Sid Bolton. Follow him on Twitter at Sid Bolton, Sid with a Y. And of course, find the show notes on OMGNexus.com. My name is Jeff. You can follow me on Twitter at Cynics, SINNIX.
And I am Ziantane everywhere, and that is XIANTAYNE.
You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Second Place.
That's it for episode 297. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking by us tonight. We'll be back next week with 298.
Bye, guys.
This has been an OMGNexus.com production.